Hagfish, to grow or not to grow? Look at this beautiful creature. Wouldn't you want one in your next fish tank? I'm Chrissy Murray.
And I'm Olivia Swenson.
And we are here to present you with the idea of aquaculturing hagfish. So what are hagfish? They're commonly referred to as slime eels. This is because of the slime they produce as a defense mechanism. But we'll talk about this more later. Right now they're in phylum Chordata, family Minxidae, and their lifespan can up to be 40 years. But if they're aquacultured, it can be increased. They are scaleless and soft-skinned creatures, mostly made of cartilage. They can be 1 to 4 feet long depending on the species, and have no jaws or bones. They are found in cold water and found in the deep blue in depths of 4,260 feet. Their diet is mostly dead or dying fish because they're known to be scavengers. So that is a hagfish.
Hagfish are otherwise known as slime eels. Hagfish can get into fishermen's traps and clog them up with their slime and eat their bait, causing problems for the local fishermen. Hagfish produce the slime as a self-defense mechanism that is thought to be used to clog the mouths and gills of would-be predators and allow them time to wiggle free and escape. The slime is a mixture of seawater and a protein-filled mucus that can be dried and becomes a white fibrous material. Because hagfish have no bones, they're able to tie themselves in knots, allowing them to clean themselves of their slime.
Hagfish should be aquacultured not only because they are a popular delicacy in Asian countries, which includes Korea, but the main reason is that the slime they produce can be extremely valuable. The slime hagfish produce can be used in a multitude of ways in different fields. It can be used in the medical field as bandages and skin grafts, which helps heal wounds. The slime could also be used as a replacement to nylon and spandex type materials after it has been synthesized. This could be a way to reduce those materials which are made of non-renewable sources. Replacing nylon type materials with hagfish slime not only applies to the clothing industry, but also in other miscellaneous objects like cord materials and bungee cords. Food packaging made of synthesized slime also holds a promise to replacing non-environmentally friendly materials. Since the slime is organic, it would be able to biodegrade into the environment. So once you're done eating that Lunchable, you don't have to feel so bad throwing away the packaging.
Hagfish slime has more potential than you might think. In a tensile test performed on Miracles of Nature, Episode 3, hagfish slime fiber was able to hold at least 55 ounces, or potentially even more. This could make hagfish slime the next big biofiber to hit the markets. The simplest way to produce the biofiber is to get it right from the hagfish itself. The slime can simply be hung out in the sun to dry, and once the water has evaporated away, all that's left are the proteins that have been unraveled and turned from bundles of strands packed within the goo into long, usable fibers. Scientists at Benthic Labs in San Diego, California, have also looked at bioengineering the slime to be produced from bacteria. By taking the genes from the hagfish and inserting them into the bacteria can then produce the protein filament, which could potentially be more cost-effective than raising live hagfish, but might take a while to develop and might not be a feasible option for years to come.
So, how to raise your hagfish? This is our recommendation because there is no information on how to actually aquaculture them, due to it never being done before. We recommend vertical tanks that are meant for highly intensive equipment to accommodate for their harsh living conditions. Hagfish do not have a larval stage, for their hatchlings are miniature versions of adults, but they do start off in eggs. Not much is known about their larval and juvenile stage, which may pose as a challenge. This creature could be aquacultured in a polyculture system, meaning that they could live with the other organisms to create a miniature ecosystem. The hagfish would eat the dead or dying fish, which could help break them up and to turn them into nutrients in the hagfish waste. The nutrients could then cycle back into the water and help other species thrive in the aquaculture system. There are many pros to aquaculturing hagfish, and that there is a potential way to do so, but there are many challenges associated with aquaculturing this species. For instance, you cannot use pellets. This is because they are scavengers and require dead or dying fish to eat. That would be hard to make into a pellet that the hagfish would find appetizing. That then raises the question of where would you get the food source? This may be solved by using a polyculture system, but that's not too sure to be known. Other challenges include their living conditions. Hagfish live in very deep waters that are cold and have minimal light exposure. That would be hard to recreate in an aquaculture facility. If you were to aquaculture hagfish, then you would be the first to do so. This creature has never been aquacultured before, which makes it a challenge because that leaves room for more error. Another challenge is that aquaculturing hagfish could be expensive. These creatures would most likely need a highly intensive environment that does not come cheap. This is definitely a big factor to consider because you want to make sure that your profit for your aquacultured species is worth the effort and expense. As we mentioned in how to raise them, not much is known about their life cycle, making it hard to know how to care for them properly. These are all the challenges of hagfish, and I'm sure there are more with it, but more information needs to be known by scientists before we decide to aquaculture them completely.
To wrap it all up, hagfish are more than just a disgusting, slimy creature. They have the potential to make great strides in research in the medical fields, food industries, fibers for clothing, commercial industries, and more. Besides, it's not every day you find the Holy Grail.
Thanks for watching, and have a scientific day.